What's going on, guys? I'm coming back with some breaking NFL news, right? Another NFL coach has just been hired. Another franchise has hopefully found their long-term answer at the head coaching position, and it's the Carolina Panthers hiring Matt Rhule, former head coach of the Baylor Bears. I don't want to sound like one of these guys that's, getting caught up in the moment here and just looking at the bright side or just looking at the positive side of everything, but I got to be honest with you. Every coach that's been hired this offseason, I've either loved it or liked it, right? Ron Rivera in Washington, I loved it. 5-year contract. I thought it was an incredible hire by Washington. He's going to come in with a young team, build a foundation, have a lot of discipline. Overall, great hire, right? 5 out of 5. And then, of course, McCarthy got hired by the Dallas Cowboys. I think that was yesterday morning. And I gotta say, I'm not like over the moon with that hire, but out of the remaining candidates, I thought he was the best candidate fit for the Dallas Cowboys job overall. With Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott and stuff like that, I think he's going to bring a ton of structure and leadership to the Dallas Cowboys organization. And I think he's also going to bring a lot of not empower, just overall respect, right? I think players are gonna look to him and say, "Man, this guy, he's won a Super Bowl, he's coached great quarterbacks, he's won a bunch of games, he's lost games, he's been deep in the playoffs." Right? They're gonna look at McCarthy and they're gonna say, "This guy's a real NFL head coach here." Not that they didn't do that with Jason Garrett, but I felt like Jason Garrett, even though he's a great guy, he's a great football mind, I think they kind of looked at him just as like a friend, or just like, you're just the guy you're not really the boss here. You're kind of like the assistant to the assistant manager kind of thing. And then again, Matt Rhule to Carolina. I love this hire. He's coming over from Baylor. And Matt Rhule's name has been in the pot for quite some time. Actually, he interviewed with the Jets last season. Everybody kind of knows that already. Interview went well. He wanted to go to the team until Christopher Johnson and Mike McCagnon forced his staff upon him and said, "You have to work with, X, Y, and Z." Matt Rhule said, "No, I'm not really feeling that. I'm out." Went back to Baylor. Had great success. Baylor had an incredible season this year with only a couple losses. Now, the one really... I think the thing that's spearheading Matt Rhule's argument in Rhule's favor with a lot of these different jobs is his ability to not only lead but to make the most of what he has. Remember, everybody knows Baylor, right? RG3, Bryce Petty, Art Briles, Kendall Briles, winning games, whatever, high-flying offenses. This is not those Baylor teams. This is a Baylor team constructed of 2- and 3-star guys. Remember when everything broke out, like with Art Briles and everything like that, like the scandals and everything? Matt Rhule stepped into this situation, and he did not do well his first year. But nobody could do well their first year with Baylor. Okay, so he comes into this situation and immediately turns around this program. Guys were transferring out. They didn't have any 5-star guys. They didn't have a lot of 4-star guys. This is a guy who came in and immediately was competing with Texas, with Oklahoma, with TCU, the guys that get the bigger recruits in the Big 12. And you have to tip your cap to him. This is a guy who took basically a team of, I don't want to say, maybe it's not the right word, just a team of a lesser talent, and had them competing with Oklahoma, a top 4 team in the nation, okay? Had him right on the cusp of winning the Big 12 championship. That says a lot, okay? So this guy's an incredible leader. He gets people to buy in. He's an incredible motivator as well. He's going to be stepping into a situation in Carolina where they're in a little bit of a flux right now. What are they as a team? Are they going to stick with the hard-nosed defensive play? Are they going to be a running team? Are they going to be a passing team? What's going on with Cam Newton? Are we going to keep him? Are we going to trade him? Are we going to release him? Are we going to draft the future? Are we going to sign a free agent quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater? Are we going to keep Kyle Allen, develop him? We spent a draft pick on Will Grier. What's going on with him? So the Carolina Panthers do have a lot of question marks. They do have a couple sure things, right? Luke Kuechly, Christian McCaffrey for sure. DJ Moore also had a solid season. But there are some question marks as well surrounding this team. What's going on with the offensive line. I still do, and people... I'm still not 100% sold that Carolina has a lot of weapons. I know they've invested first-round pick after first-round pick in this offense. But look, like Greg Olsen's getting old. You still lack the number 1 wide receiver, in my opinion. They don't really have a red zone threat, in my opinion, as well. So Matt Rhule does have his work cut out for him, especially in that division. But I think long term, Rhule's going to be a fantastic hire for the Panthers. He's going to come in and lay the foundation early. Okay, he's gonna lay the bricks, and he's going to get people to buy in. I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl this season. I'm not saying they're going to win the NFC South. But in 2, 3, 4 years from now, I expect this team to be coming out on top of the NFC South every year. Every year. I also think the new owner of the Carolina Panthers. I believe his name is David Tepper. I think and this is just an assumption here. I'm not, this isn't facts. So I don't take this as, like the word of God here or anything like that. But I would assume that he had a big role in getting this deal done early. I have a feeling because he's willing to spend money. He is not afraid to drop cash into the Panthers organization and really help out a coaching staff. Matt Rhule has kind of a progressive mindset as far as football goes, right? He's innovative. He wants new things, right? He wants to have that luxury. He doesn't want to have like some stingy owner like a Jimmy Haslam. I don't think it's a coincidence that Matt Rhule said, no, I don't even want to interview with these guys. Jimmy Haslam, John Dorsey, I don't even want to be a part of it. David Tepper, I have a feeling, is going to be very helpful and very, I don't even know what the word would be, but just I think he's going to be very active, not really in football operations, but he's going to be a very hands-on owner as far as, Matt Rhule, what do you need to be successful? So I think that probably played a big part in getting the deal done really quickly like this. I know the Panthers had interest in Mike McCarthy and Eric Bieniemy. They actually interviewed both of those guys twice. McCarthy got hired, obviously, and then Bieniemy probably on the fence with Matt Rhule, but Matt Rhule came in and snagged the job just like that. So I do have a feeling that Carolina might draft the quarterback of the future. That's a little sneak peek into my next mock draft coming out pretty soon. Sitting there with a top 10 pick, I think it's pick 7 overall. So I'm really liking this hire. Again, I don't think the Panthers are winning the Super Bowl. I don't think the Panthers are winning the NFC South next season, just because of the division that they play in. Tampa looks to be kind of, just that 8-8 kind of average team. Atlanta's just kind of weird, but they're still good. You can't underestimate them. And then the Saints are just a powerhouse, even though, despite the loss in Minnesota, or against Minnesota rather. So, but in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, expect Carolina to be winning the division. Once they start buying into the program that Matt Rhule is selling, I think Carolina is going to take off. It's only up from here. I really do believe it's only up from here. Maybe not as far as wins and losses go, but the long-term vision is, trending upward. So I'll leave it there. Panthers fans out there, let me know your thoughts on this hire. I really like Matt Rhule, kind of a CEO. He's going to let his coordinators do his thing. I think he's going to be targeting the quarterback coach from the Detroit Lions to be his offensive coordinator, but we'll see what happens. So let me know your thoughts, and as always, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.